Yeah.
Perfect.
Excited. Welcome back to the Get Up Girl. I got my gal, Pinky Magana. Many of you know her. She's been here on the show several times. And she's going to be at Sleigh Gals this year. Excited about that in December. If you're unfamiliar with Sleigh Gals, that is our virtual event where we bring a bunch of women together and we raise money for the silent essential worker. And speaking about that, that's perfect segue, Pinky, because we're going to talk about money. Pinky is our money gal. And she and I love to have conversations about mindset, how to pay ourselves first, and how, especially for women and women of color uh, that had a different upbringing, right? Or maybe, all women's of all shapes and sizes and colors, but especially because she and I are Latina. And if you're not, all good. But if you do resonate with that, like, yeah, you know what? That wasn't our culture. Perfect time for this conversation. Pinky, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for always having me. I feel like a veteran here at the Get Up Girl.
Well, think of it like The View. You know how they have their regulars that come on. Love it. So we were chatting. I'm like, we're always talking about money, but how can we go deeper? What can we talk about? And the thing that you were saying that keeps coming up is the mindset. And Pinky, I totally get how like mindset, the word is kind of watered down. It's so like, yeah, we get it. I
Mhm.
wish there could be another term for mindset. Like an elevated new term because I feel like when we
Yeah.
hear that word, we kind of just go, yeah, okay, whatever. But with that energy of the word, it's the mindset of the money. And in my knowing, for me, Pinky, it's the lies that I bought. That we buy lies when we were younger that rich people are bad, money is the root of all evil, money doesn't grow on trees. We can go on and on. And yeah, they're mindset things and they are lies that we bought. We heard it, it's a lie because it only becomes true once we buy it. We buy it, we take it on, now we live it. And so, with that being said, what is one of the biggest things that you've noticed with your clients about mindset?
I mean, just starting off with even with the word saving or save for yourself. And people don't understand that concept. I didn't understand that concept, paying yourself first. Like, what do you mean? I get my paycheck every 2 weeks.
That
I
is paying me.
paid it, and then I use that money and I paid my bills. Then realize, oh wait, no, I didn't pay myself first. I paid my bills first. I paid everything else, but I didn't keep any portion of my money. So talking to people with in that sense of like, let's start saving or let's start a budget. People are like, oh, you're gonna make me budget. You're gonna make me cut down on my lattes. You're gonna make it cut down on the fun things. No, budgeting is just telling your money where to go. So I want to change that concept too of that budget, because when I would think budget, I'm like, oh, I don't want to sit down. Don't give me a budget. Let me control my stuff. But it's just really just telling each dollar where to go. But when we talk to, certain clients that I talk to, when I say, hey, pay yourself first, they kind of see it as a bill. So I want to flip that and not see it's not a bill like, oh, can you put away $100 a month for yourself? Yeah, I got a lot of bills, and they saw it as a bill as opposed to I'm worth $100 a month. I'm worth 500. I'm
Mhm.
worth 1,000. So there's a gap where people have already been doing it, and it's like a muscle, it's like exercise. You got to start. You tell me to pick up 100-pound weights the first day. I'm no, but if you tell me, hey, start with 5 pounds every day, and people that have already been doing that, it's so much easier to say, hey, how much can you put away for yourself for your future? Oh, I'll put $500. I'll put 1,000. The other end of the client will say, I I don't even have $20 to put away. And it's really just so changing that.
Pinky, do you think there's a difference between saving and having? Do you think that most of your clients, have you noticed, can they save, but then they spend? So they're not able to have the money or keep it, so to speak.
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Okay, say for example, because this is my experience, and I know many others like this that are binge savers. where we'll save, and then we spend it. And it's just a yo-yo. It's the same thing with dieting, where people can yo-yo diet, right? So I know how to save, Pinky. I am learning, I'm in my journey of how to keep the money, how to
Mm.
have the money, like have it. It's the same correlation, Pinky. In my relationship right now, I'm really learning, like, how can I receive love? So I have love, but receiving it is like, oh, do I deserve it? Do I feel good enough? It's the same thing with money. I have the money, but can I keep it? Now I want to spend it. You know, when they say the money burns a hole in your
It,
pocket?
yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's burning in your pocket, and there's a lot of it goes back to that exercise, the mindset, where people I've seen people come into quick, they've double, tripled their income overnight, and it burns in their pockets. It's weird to just hold on to it. Like you just feel like you just have to keep spending it. So that is also another gap. It goes back to when you see lottery winners, they get $1 million and then within 4 years, they're broke
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't become a millionaire in their mind. So, yeah, I do see a lot of that where people can't handle having a lot of money, but that's why you need a money coach or somebody that will say, hey, let me help you figure out, and you just tell each dollar where to go. Once they realize that and say, oh, here's your fun money, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can still save and I can still have at the same time, as opposed to like, let me blow it all. And if you're blowing it all, it's because your money has nowhere to go. You're not telling it where to go. So that's probably why you save so much money and then you're like, ooh, let me spend it.
Hmm. I see it as in like doubt. I've been really playing with doubt lately. I did a podcast about doubt and how it's created, Pinky, to distract us. So when the money comes in, we doubt that we deserve it, or we doubt that, can I save it? I mean, whatever story's playing. And it's created that doubt to distract us in order for us then to spend the money. And doubt is there, Pinky, to keep us the same. Because if I had millions and millions of dollars, then I would be different than my friends. I would be different than my family. I would be different. And
Yeah.
it's that quote, we are not afraid of our whatever it is. We are not afraid of how great we are. We're just afraid of how great we can be. I'm messing up the quote. You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm doubting, can it actually be this good? And as humans, we've bought this idea and this reality of, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And I wonder that when we have this money, it's too good to be true, so we unconsciously spend it. I did that. I yo-yoed for years with money. It's like, ooh, I couldn't take the such goodness, so then I would spend it.
I That resonates with me because there's still growth, there's still limiting beliefs that keep me capped, and it goes down as well with diet and exercise where you lost the weight, you
Yeah.
feel good.
So you're
I
like, whoa,
I went through that experience where I'm like,
yeah,
oh my God,
it's too
my
good.
hips. And
Yeah.
there was when I was on the show and I lost 6 pounds in a week. I was, for anybody that's never, I was on a weight loss dance competition show.
Mhm.
And every week we would get weighed in. So this week I lost 6 pounds. I didn't know how to dance. Like we were doing a dance routine and my dance partner was like, what happened? You can't move your hips. I had to relearn my body.
Mm.
So it felt different. And I felt that tug of, I need those pounds back. I didn't feel good. So I think it goes with the same with money, that I'm like, no, I need to come back to my level. And we go back to that level. And trust me, I have those limiting beliefs where I'm like, I want to break that seal, because good times happen. And I'm like, oh, this is too good. You just feel that hesitation within your body. And I completely agree. It's just that hesitation and that doubt. And you just go back to what feels good, what feels comfortable.
Comfortable. That's the word. I'm been playing at in that this week. God, that's a tongue twister. Like, I'm like, okay, Joanna, I was getting uncomfortable with something that was happening in my life, and I had to have a wake up. Like, oh, I so am not willing to be uncomfortable here. I so want to stay comfortable. because it is not fun to be uncomfortable in this situation. And it's having that awareness, Pinky, in this part of your life that will transfer over into the money. And that cliche saying of the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Man, there is such truth to that. So the awareness over here, I know it's going to help me with my money because I was unable at that moment. I'm aware now that I did not want to get uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, oh, I am so creating every excuse, Pinky, to stay comfortable. Everything in the world was like, well, it's that reason and that reason. Every time we have a reason, Pinky, it's to keep us comfortable. It's because we have doubt. Anytime you come back with, well, a because, a because, a because, a rebuttal, a defense is because we're uncomfortable. Yesterday, Pinky, well, I was talking to somebody and I could feel that I wanted to, come in with a, like, let me defend myself. And I just closed my mouth. I go, Joanna, just receive and listen. And it was uncomfortable to do that, hun. Now, that has nothing to do with money, and it does have something to do with money. What were you going to say?
We want to change our lives. We want to level up. Everybody's talking about level up and mindset, but once you start doing that and you start growing, and then you're leaving people behind, and you're like, it gets uncomfortable. It does get uncomfortable to grow when they say, it's lonely at the top, which, it's not true for me. It's you got people, but just that growth and that mindset and expanding, the money mindset, every type of mindset, but you're changing. And are we really ready for that change? We want to level up, but are we really ready? And when we have that doubt and that sense, you're like, ooh, no, I really don't want to be financially independent. I do. It sounds fun, but what is your life going to look like? What is your circle going to look like? It's going to look different. It's just going to change. It's just bound to happen.
Do you think we really want to level up cohesively, like collectively? Like, I think we say it, Pinky, but I really, after so many years of teaching and coaching and being in this genre, I really think we just say it, but I really think collectively, most of us don't want to change.
It's just easier. It's
Yeah.
You're comfortable. It's easier. There's why, I think people think, why fix it if it's not broken? I'm okay here. I'm content. And we're afraid to really be real gutsy and really go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I'm trying to break through, where I'm like, just be gutsy and go for it, and break that and really see what would happen. We're the only human beings that can alter our life overnight. We're the only beings. Nobody, a giraffe can alter his life and be like, I don't want to live in Africa. I want to go to
I want to move to Mexico. Yeah.
We're the only ones that can alter our lives. And we complain about altering our lives, whether it's financially, physically, and we just don't do it. I've been wanting to look like J-Lo for 40 years. Why don't I do it? Yeah.
And I do want to tap on this, Pinky. We're not wrong for not choosing it. Here, but I just invite everybody to have the awareness that they're choosing not to level up. It's the choosing of the pieces, it's the choosing of the reasons. Somebody like, there's a few people I know, Pinky, that are like, I'm good with my life. I don't want to level up. I have met a few like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they just said what other people are not willing to say.
True.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think now in 2021, after COVID, after TikTok went big and things of that nature, there's so many coaches and things out there that are telling us to level up, let's go. And I think we're exhausted of being told what to do. And it's not wrong to not want to do it. So that's what I want to come across. And I think once we back off from shoving it down people's throats, people can then choose. I see it like kids, like you're a mom. The more you make your son do something, he's not going to want to do it. But the more you back off, they just do it. You get it what I'm saying? It's like the choice.
Like you say, the invitation, just invite. You know, going back to my toddler, my mom will say, he's not eating anything. I give him a platter. These are your choices. I invite you to eat it. If you do not, that is all the choices you have: carrots, grapes, broccoli. No, you're not going to have, you know what I mean? So I think it is, you're right. It is an invitation because it puts pressure on people to level up. And if they're not leveling up, now we don't feel good about ourselves. But no, it's okay. If you're killing it as a mom, a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids at home, and you're dope, keep doing that. And if that works, if that works for you, but I invite you, if you want to shift things or move things around, I invite you to do this. This is what worked for me. I love that. The same way with, that's the way we do our money coaching, is just teaching you, giving you the information, giving you the education, giving you strategies that fit you, fit your needs. Now it's up to you, and you decide if you want to apply these strategies. Joanna, this is what the strategy will look like, and this is what's going to look like for you. You decide if you want to apply it, and if you want that to look like you want that result.
Pinky, yes, 100%. Money and fitness, in my point of view, are like the same. As I teach fitness, and the
Yep.
more I back off from my fitness clients, the more they choose it on their own and do it on their own. The more I'm breathing down their neck as like a hovering fitness coach. We've all had a hovering fitness coach that watches everything we eat. And we will lose weight, or I've had those coaches. And then as soon as they're gone, or as soon as I don't work with anyone anymore, the weight comes back because I was just afraid of them because they were hovering. And
Same.
the coaches that allow me to choose, and that's how I see it with money, and the more I'm aware. So this conversation, I want to invite everybody to have the awareness of what's going on with the money. What is it? It's the question of, what is this right here? What
Mhm.
is the resistance to the money? Because I've heard many times, Pinky, that so many of my friends or people, I want to save the world. I want to save the planet. Okay, money can do a lot of change. If I have had millions and billions of dollars, I can hire a big crew to clean up the ocean,
Yes.
right? I mean, if I
Yes.
had as much money as Jeff Bezos or Oprah,
Oof.
people go, well,
What?
that's a lot. But we all have the capacity. Like you said, we are the only beings on this planet to have the capacity to become Oprah. We all can do it. And we just choose different. Now, Oprah's money, she can choose to do a lot. If I had that money, I what are the things that I can actually do to change the planet? But we talk about it and we say, but the rich people are ruining the planet. Well, then what if you had the money? And it's those limiting beliefs. And look, I mean, I'm preaching to myself right now because the choices I'm making, and I'm on my own journey. And I'm going to go back to my personal journey is being comfortable with having money, Pinky, not saving it, not making it. That's easy for me, is having it, having it.
I love that you say that. I get excited thinking about having a lot of money. And the first things that I think about, I'm like, I want to invest. We do a lot of, hip hop events in Arizona. My brother does them, where I'm like, I can't wait to have more money so I can invest more into the kids, so I can invest more into the community, so we can have a bigger platform, so we can, like, that makes me excited. It gets me excited. I'm like, I want so much money because I can open up an orphanage, or the things that we're complaining about. And that's one of my dreams, is opening up an orphanage. It's always been one of my dreams, where I'm like, there's so much that we can do. And then we see all these rich, evil people, where I'm like, this is why we need to be wealthy and rich, so the good people can help and give back. We need money to fix these things.
Mhm.
So that gets me super excited. It used to make me feel like, oh, what is your, people gonna think? Now you have all this money. And I'm like, no, I want a lot of it, because I'm gonna use it as a tool for good.
Mhm. Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day and we were talking about soldiers. Money is our soldiers, money are our babies. And now when I have money, I look at it. And then she was saying, she goes, have your babies have affairs, and make more babies.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
I laughed just like you did right now. I was like, yeah, little orgies. She's like, yeah. And they're just making babies everywhere. She goes, that's what
Oh,
I tell my babies to go make more babies. Because
that's hilarious.
yeah, soldiers, babies, whatever you want. It's a tool, it's energy, it's the ability to be able to choose whatever we wish. Because we can choose as a human, like you said, as a being. We can choose, and it's easier with money. I can get in a plane right now and fly somewhere and clean up the ocean. Now, if I didn't have the money, I could hitchhike. I could do a gazillion things to get there. And it's easier with money. Oh, Pinky, we have a question here.
Ooh,
Do you think people's mindset change after they have money and then don't care about doing good? Hmm.
me personally, and I mean, I would hope that I wouldn't change my intentions of why I want money. And if I came into a whole bunch of money, I would hope that I would have a friend give me a quick wake up call. I think it enhances who you already are.
Amen. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. Okay, let's go back to the pandemic, Pinky. I think the pandemic unveiled who we really were as a person. You saw people either what they did with their personality. It just enhanced. And I think money does the same thing, Pinky.
Absolutely. It's just going to enhance if you're a jerk
You're just gonna
and
be a
now
bigger
you're
jerk.
going to be a bigger jerk with more money.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If you're a generous, good-hearted person, I really, and that goes back to thinking that money is the root of all evil. Like even me saying like, "Ooh, I hope I don't change. I hope my heart doesn't get dark when I get more money." That's that programming still that we carry from money's the root of all evil. Rich people are evil and greedy, and not. I know a lot of wealthy people, and they're the most generous,
The mo-
beautiful,
hey,
humble. You can't even tell they're rich. Like,
Pinky, let's bring this up right now. No joke. This is the truth in my world. If anybody else is different, let me know. But I know 10 to 1 mean poor people than to rich people. I know a lot of poor people. When I say poor, I mean, you know what I
yeah,
mean, that are not very kind. And I know one maybe person that I probably know zero people with money that are not kind, most of the ones I know. And how
mhm.
we are programmed to think that rich people are evil. And I'm like, do you know any poor people that are evil? A lot. I know a lot that are not very nice. I think more.
Yeah,
Isn't that freaking interesting?
that's crazy.
Right?
And I think even having that lack of money might make you create more anger, more
More anger,
bitterness,
more
more
walls up, more screw you.
frustration,
Mhm.
sadness, because you don't have options, you don't have choices, and maybe these mean people or bad, poor people that they've wanted to have these goals and dreams and they can't because they're like trapped.
Yeah, a good question to ask yourself is what rings true for you? Like, does it really ring true for you that rich people are evil? Like, that doesn't ring true for me. However, Pinky, it's still a mindset that I have of a record playing since I was a
Yeah.
little girl from cartoons that I watched. But does it really ring true for me? No. But there is something there that we all have that idea in our head, and it comes from cartoons. If you watch any television show, most of them, they don't make the rich person the great one.
I
In
mean, look at Superman in the
oh,
movie. What's this?
yes,
The evil dude.
yeah, he's
He's
good.
like a billionaire.
And do you see how it's done? Like uh quietly. Like I'm trying to explain how most in things of that nature, the rich one is not the nice one. Ah,
The shady one, the one
yes,
that's inspiring, the one that does, all of a sudden it's like, it
yeah,
was me that did all that.
yes. And it's subliminally going into our minds, going, oh, okay. You see it when you're 5, then you see it with your 10. You see how often and how many movies are the rich ones the ones that save things. Like the first one that comes to mind, Pinky, is Forrest Gump. And you know what was really cool about Forrest Gump is that he had no attachment to money. It was like no big deal. Remember, he was like,
Mhm.
"Well, I don't care," and then he owned like all the stock in Apple at the
Yeah.
end, and he's like, "Well, okay, whatever, I don't care." It it was just like so cool to see the less resistance you have, your money just keeps growing and growing, going back to having the babies, the soldiers, the less resistance we have. We're able to have money. And I think when we have the resistance, the becauses, the reasons, the justifications, it's like we hold on to that doubt.
And that you repel money that way.
Yeah,
It's the and I've seen people that think in abundance at all times, and it just bloop, like Forrest Gump, it just came.
it keeps,
And
yeah,
people that are like, no, I'm gonna keep all this is all I have, and I'm not gonna be able to make more, and then you're not gonna receive it at all. So that's really what I want to break, and it goes down to like I do want to come up with a better word than mindset,
mhm,
with the money mindset, with whether it's personal development. That's huge, and that will play in any part of your life, whether it's finances, health, personal development. And I'll be blue in the face talking about how much personal development will expand your mind. If you want to make more money,
mhm,
personal development.
yeah.
If you want to be fitter, personal development. Is that even a word, fitter?
It is
I'm
now.
making up words. If you want to be fitter,
We got another comment here. Tony Stark is Iron Man, and it's good to see him as a superhero instead of a villain. Nice.
yes.
Because he is rich
Perfect.
in that movie, right? Yeah.
Or yeah, or Batman. Is
Mhm.
it Batman? Yeah, Batman. Oh, is it Batman? But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
there's a
it's
lot.
it's
Mhm.
so true. Iron Man is super humble, but it's funny how he'll play both parts when he needs to.
Yeah.
He needs to play the
Yes.
well,
The humble one. Yeah, undercover. Interesting, Pinky.
and Batman, there is a part in a couple of Batman movies where um what's his name? Wayne, where he comes in and he has to act like this arrogant rich
Mhm.
person, and he has two
Bruce
girls,
Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. He has the girls in the fountain playing like if it was a pool, and one of the managers is like, hey, you need to get out of here. He's like, no, he's like, I just bought this restaurant,
Uh-huh.
and does whatever he wants. He was showing that evil side of what a rich person or
Yeah.
wealthy person looks like.
So that's a great question to ask yourself. When you're watching these movies, it's not to go, no, I can't watch these movies. It's just to go, oh, okay, I'm aware of that. And do I want to buy that lie? You're like, okay, it
Mhm.
doesn't ring true for me. But it's having that awareness, knowing that we are constantly getting these messages. And
Yeah.
is it true? Is it true? No, it might, it's not true. It can be true for some, but is it always true? Is it like the correct answer all the time? No. 100% of rich people are not evil.
No. Yeah.
No.
And I'm trying to think if I've met I did have an old boss, but he had money, but I think like he wasn't super super rich, and he was not nice. He
Mhm,
was really just ugh, but he yeah, maybe that one person. But
mhm.
it's yeah, then at least in my current world, it's been good.
Okay,
And
good.
I do want to hear from anybody if they do have different perspectives, if they've met a wealthy person and they were a jerk, or if they met, somebody that's doesn't have a lot of money and they're a jerk. Like I would love to hear from other people what their experiences.
Well, this is a great question, Peaky. What's rich?
Mhm,
Do you know what I mean? It's so
mhm,
there's no definition. What does rich mean?
mhm.
And I think it's changed so much from like I still think rich of what I thought rich was in the 90s, and it's so different now.
Yeah.
But for me, it's you have $1 million, you're rich. And million is not that much anymore. But you see, the record is still playing a million.
Yeah.
Like, what does it really mean? So you're talking about your boss. Was he really rich? Was he not? Again, what is defines rich? And we're all going to have
Right.
a different answer.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, rich or wealthy, I think it's just having that independence. not having to rely on. For me, it's financial independence.
Mhm.
I think that's when you're. I mean, yeah, it does go back and forth. Like, what is actually rich and what is actually wealthy? Those are two different things as well.
Mhm. God, I just had an aha. And for me, like rich is being able to have the money and I don't feel like it's burning a hole.
Yeah.
If it's $10 or $10 million, can I have it and it's not burning? I've heard many times, like, you said at the beginning, pay yourself first. And I've heard this a few times, keep hundreds of dollars of money cash in your wallet because you'll always know that you have money. And
Mm.
me, that gives me like, okay, first of all, what if I lose it? Second of all, like, no, I could use that to pay a bill, right? What do we have? Like, until I can get there and just like, yeah, I got $1,000 in my wallet. Or maybe I have a ring that I invest in the ring and I know that I can always sell the ring because it's worth something. It's worth something. It's gold. And I'm walking around in gold.
Mm.
To me, that's rich rather than I have this ring. I could sell it, Pinky, and I could make money. And I could sell it on Marketplace and I could sell it on offer. I mean, do you see the cuckoo Chris
Yeah.
crazy? Can I have it? To me, that's being rich.
Even the way people put their money inside their wallet.
You mean like how they fold it or if it's in
I've seen people
place?
that it's crumbled up in their wallet, and I'm like, that's how you're
You're
treating
treating your babies, your soldiers. Yeah, not very kindly. Yeah. Mhm.
that. I feel that that gives a lot of energy too. Is
Mhm.
how you have it. And it's just so funny. Why does that money burn in our pocket? Where you're like, I gotta put it, if not, I'm gonna spend it. I can't carry it around because I'm gonna spend it.
I think it's confidence for me because it also correlates with the love. Can I receive love? Like for 2021, Pinky, I always choose, at the beginning of my year, I do my annual plan. And for 2021, one of my big things is to let people in my life. Like, let people in, hug my girlfriends, tell my girlfriends I love them. Like I always say, I love you, Pinky. Like before, I mean, I would like, I can't tell Pinky I love her. That's like weird. Okay. But 2021 was like, I'm going to tell my friends I love them. I adore you, etc. Because it was tough for me to receive the love. So, can I receive the love? Can I have the money? It's the same thing because I don't have the confidence that I deserve it, that I am worthy, that I'm good enough, blah, blah, blah. That's what it is for me. I wonder if anybody frows. Well, how about for you?
It comes down to, do we deserve it? There's a lot of things happening in my life where I'm like, ooh, this is nice, but do I deserve it? And it's almost, it's almost too nice.
Is it too good
Like,
to be true feeling? Like, this is too
yeah,
good.
it's too good to be true, and you're waiting for like
It's like this
something bad
shorter
to
thing to drop.
happen. And I'm like, and then I stopped myself and I'm like, no, you deserve this. You've been working for this. You've been asking the universe for this. You've set your goals. You've been working hard. It's been a decade. Like, it's about time.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
God's giving you the gift, and you're like, I can't. Right? I know we're goofy.
oh my goodness. And I'm like, no, nothing bad is gonna happen. It's just good. Just receive the goodness, but it's so good. You're like, oh my God. You get it. It's so we all feel it.
Yeah.
We all feel it, and we're just at a different levels.
Yeah.
And it's just keep expanding, keep learning. For me, like I said, I still have limited beliefs that I'm trying to just
Like,
take the
what is
lid off of this. I'm like, God, but I'm more aware than I was
Yes.
10 years
It's
ago.
the awareness. And it's the lightness of it, Pinky. Do you see how we're laughing about it? It's never going to go away. Doubt is never going to go away. It's always going to be there, and it's like a weed. You don't have a garden and then there's never any weeds. No, there's new weeds. You kill the weeds. We get it. There's new weeds that come up. You cut it and go, oh, that's new, and you cut it. But we don't like freak out at the weeds. We just cut it and go, okay.
Yep.
But it's the lightness of like, okay, that's funny. Let's move
That's
on. Yeah.
hilarious.
And having the awareness. Okay, we got another one. Another question. Pinky, do you have any thoughts on health savings accounts? If a company puts in $1,000 towards your annual max contribution of around $6,000 for a total of $7,300, is it worth investing in HSA?
It if the company's putting in money, yes, because it's free money. So if they're matching that money, uh but I believe there's a cap to it. But I wouldn't put more than what they're matching. It's something good to have. It's always good to have different buckets. But with that said, I would need to look at your personal situation to see what you already have set for
Yeah.
yourself. Let me take a look at your portfolio. Let's see what buckets you already have set, that there might be other things that will make more sense
Okay.
than what's already set. So there'll
Amen.
be
Pinky.
different strategies. Well, yeah, but if they're matching and they're giving you money, yeah, take it all day long, but don't overdo it. But I would have to do, and like I said, the what I do a personal, call it financial dream map, where we just take your information and we figure out something personalized for you. So it's hard for me to answer these questions. But it depends on what buckets you already have, for sure.
Great answer, Pinky. I see it the same as fitness. If somebody asks me a fitness question, I'm like, I got to ask you 10 other questions before I even get to another answer, like to another question.
Yeah.
People go,
Yeah.
what do I eat after I work out? Whoa, hold on, hold on. Let's start. What time did you go to sleep? What time? How does your body feel, etc.? Yeah, but there's not one clean cut answer.
It's like
So I love that answer.
if I'm like, Joanna, how can I'm working on a six pack? Wait, hold up. Let's start.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on. Where is that six pack at right now?
yeah.
Let's look at the refrigerator. Let's look at the cabinets. Yeah, totally.
And that's why
Totally.
I love talking about money to you, Pinky, because I get afraid if there's ever a money person, coach, guru, mentor that gives me a blatant answer. And I'm like, I feel like my stomach goes, red flag, because
It's
you're
not
so
it's
open.
hard.
Like, well, you know what? Let's look. Let's check this out. Yeah. So anybody out there, if you hire somebody or look into that, know what feels true for you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't just give you a blank because it's not a one size fits all.
It's not right. Same with fitness. What worked for somebody and they wrote a book, it's just different. And it might work for you. Again, everybody's
Right.
different. But yeah. Oh, he says, should I print a money tree? Yes. And to end this podcast, just print a money tree. And it's true though. Money does grow on trees because money is made out of paper and paper is from trees. So it does grow on trees.
It
Right
sure
there.
does.
It sure does.
And there's plenty of tree, okay?
Money
Well, no,
tree.
not no. Let's
Oh, I get it.
the trees. No, wait, hold on. Let me take that. I'm like, let's reserve our trees, but yes.
Yes, get it. Uh, let's go make babies with our babies and tell those soldiers what to do. Pinky, tell everybody where they can find you. We'll also have it in the show notes as well. And if anybody wants to set up an appointment with you, because you do it over Zoom, so they could be all over the world, right?
We can be anywhere nationwide. So you can follow me on Instagram. Give me a follow, Pinky, PinkySofia. And my website is pinkysophia.com. Uh, and yeah, we can do a discovery call, 30-minute call, just give you information. It's free. I like all this you'll get me as a coach for free.
Mm-hmm. People
So
always ask me, "Oh, Pinky, yeah," and I go, "Dude, she's gonna sit down with you for free." You know what I mean? And you'll know if it's true for you, and you'll just do something with her, and if it rings true for you, cool. Yeah, Pinky so wants to help you out. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
And that's why you're so good at what you do, Pinky, because you are the invitation. You're not shoving it down. You're the invitation for like, let's shift this. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I really want to, help. Like I said, my parents were left behind, didn't learn any of this information though, so that's why I'm super super passionate about it. One day I'll share the story, but yeah, this is something that we never learned in our communities, and just simplifying it and not making it all like serious and trust like I'm goofy, I'm funny, but I know what I'm talking about, and I can help you. So
Yeah.
and
Let's
I'm
take
easy to
this
talk to.
serious.
So I'm not gonna tell you to stop drinking your lattes because I love my lattes.
If you can't see her, yeah, she just put up her latte. Yes, your $27 latte. girl. It was
I
good.
always think I'm like, what would this $7 latte compound in 30 years?
Years. It's gonna be,
Oh.
yeah, $3,000 is $7. Hey. Oh, well, Pinky, congratulations on everything with
Thank you.
your money journey and doing this. Like, I'm just so proud of you. Great
Thank
job.
you. Thank you for always supporting me. And I'm super excited for this journey. I still have a lot to learn. I am not no guru yet.
Yes.
But I'm learning. So learn with me. Like set up an appointment. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's see what you got and we'll learn together. But yeah, thank you. I'm super excited and I'm, aware of taking off those limiting beliefs. Like you can do it. You can do it. I'm excited. Thank you.
Thanks, Pinky. And catch us both at Sleigh Gals on Saturday, December 4th. We're going to have more information about that. Pinky will be there talking about money again. And it's great to hear it over and over and over again. This money stuff again and again and again. Study money as if you study anything else. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening and choosing the Get Up Girl. Really, truly appreciate every single one of you. Remember, if you want different in your life, choose different. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.